So the only way in and out at the moment is via climbing the fence. But I'm sure that will be resolved shortly when they find the key to the gate. You want a hand?
Yeah, the knee's gone.
Oh, heck. Maybe you should stay there now.
We came on blue lights because we get limited information, okay? So I turned up after my colleague. My colleague had arrived already. All we knew is the large-scale disturbance with lots of people. That's all we knew. We've turned up, there's lots of people. We've come on blue lights to assist our colleagues because we don't know what's going to happen. But sometimes we go to calls like this and it all goes very badly wrong.
So I got a quick interview earlier with the gentleman who rides or drives this, and this is what he had to say.
A lady up the road had her house taken from her about 2 weeks ago. She's got stage 4 cancer, and we're here today to take the house back.
Things will not change until people start to rise. Debt is nothing more than a silent war. It's fake, just like money is fake. And until people start to realise that we need to give humanity the value rather than the money, nothing will change. And right now what we've got is an amazing show of people power that are standing up for what is right. Nobody should be evicted. Nobody. Not in this day and age, especially when we have people coming in from foreign countries who are being given a home and paid for everything. But the good people of this country, whose ancestors fought to remain here, to have properties, families and live in peace, are being evicted from their own homes. This is not right.
County Court bailiffs and High Court enforcement officers are legally allowed to force entry to trade or business premises, but not residential homes, to chase unpaid County Court judgments or High Court judgments.
That's nothing to do with that. That's to do with...
That's UK law, and this is Parliament. So this is partly what I do, and that's from Parliament today, and that was updated on the 9th of June 2023.
Sheena, today's been an enlightenment for myself today. How do you feel about what's happened today?
I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that everybody's turned up and supported me, and as well as they did on the 4th of March. I wasn't expecting this sort of support.
2 weeks ago, the police turned up with bailiffs and they evicted you from your home.
Yeah.
You're now back in your home.
Yeah.
Why are you back in your home?
Because these kind people turned up and helped me get back in here.
We've exercised our common law right of recapture, and we've lawfully...
What are the circumstances around that? Are you recapturing why?
Her house was illegally stolen from her last week. By bailiffs with fraudulent instruments.
Is this Sheena?
She's terminally ill, she's got stage 4 cancer, she shouldn't have been removed. The police should have stepped in and said, look, guys, this needs to go back to court, but you didn't. Guys of your same ranking...
Yeah, but we didn't know about it.
No,
so
you didn't know about it. No, but what's that? Well, this is why there needs to be there needed to be a senior officer out down here last time, or constable, inspector.
Someone this?
Several times, I did personally, and from inside they asked for him. They completely ignored it. The police constable's on the ground.
I think let's just have a quick look what's going on over here.
Because the police have not done their job. The police have acted unlawfully.
Okay, so what is your purpose here today?
When they broke into the house, the NHS were called, a bailiff assaulted the NHS driver, and we're hoping that the NHS driver presses charges, and they left her out in a wheelchair in a nightdress and a blanket to the early hours of the morning. The bailiff was giving her the middle finger. It's absolutely disgusting.
There you go. Business and Property Court, top line. Says?
Neither issued or sealed.
There you go.
Any writs.
Oh dear. What, the 8th of January? Isn't that funny?
What date was that letter?
This letter was done.
Get the lady back into her house now.
So it looks like the people have already taken back the house.
She's outside. We've evicted all the security, so they're not over yet.
There's just 2 security guards here.
I'd imagine they're finding the police now. So we've got our people inside the gate. The lady's back inside her house with all her legal documents.
Hello. I'm reporting on today. Can you just tell me why you're outside your place of work? Could you just tell me why you're outside your place of work? I'll take that as no comment. Right, so as it stands now, looks like the security are no longer at this property. I think they're going home early.
I thought you guys were down the park for a coffee.
I was walking up.
Oh, right. And then you bumped into this rabble.
Mad, isn't it? It must be.
I arrived here a bit late. Could you just tell me what happened?
What happened is that the people have had enough. The rightful owner, who had her property stolen over a £200 fraudulent council tax debt, has returned to her home, and we've now evicted this lady who was staying in her home, and the people are speaking for justice. She was evicted. She's got stage 4 cancer, Sheena, and for a £200. And this lady here took no mercy in evicting her, even though she's got cancer. She's 60 years old, and now she's getting her taste of her own medicine.
The police are the main problem. If the police enforced the law, or knew the law would help, and enforced it, and if they don't know it, find somebody that does, there wouldn't be any of these problems. They have causing these injuries through turning a blind eye to the people they're supposed to protect and serve. We're not being served or protected.
What can you add to the story today?
Well, the police acted unlawfully. So the fact that today is the way it is, it shouldn't be that way. It should never have got this far. Also, the seal on the court order, it doesn't look like a proper order.
So fraudulent paperwork could be at hand here?
It could be. That's what the police really should have investigated. But the bailiffs and High Court enforcement only had right to go on the land on the order. They didn't have right to force entry.
Being a stage 4 cancer sufferer, it's hard enough as it is, and then to be evicted out of your home at this stage, it broke my heart when I watched it, and to watch all the people stand up for what is right, I think it's a good sign that there's many people out there who know there's something wrong with the system that needs to change.
Yeah, the whole system needs to change. There is no due process, there's no rule of law. We've been through the courts, and to be honest with you, once you do start going up there, you realise that they're creating fake writs, like this one. That's what it is. There's no judge's name. It cannot be issued from the Chancery Division, as well as the King's Bench in the Central Office. And that's why these High Court enforcement officers do not serve them.
The documents I brought today, you've got the Office of the Constable. So this is supposed to be the bedrock of modern day policing. This has got the Peel principles in it and the police oath. And they have to uphold fundamental human rights. But when police do break the law, they're individually accountable under the Criminal Justice and Courts Act 2015, section 26, where it's an offence for a police officer to exercise improperly the powers and privileges of the constable. And the fact that they're coming out like this, they should know the law. And when they don't know the law, there's a problem. And then you get a mixture of misfeasance, malfeasance, non-feasance.
Question, lady, would you have done this to your mother? Would you have evicted your own mother if she had cancer? Would you have done that?
Would you have done it if she didn't have cancer?
Would you have done it?
This paperwork on you.
No, I'm not taking no
I'm just
paperwork.
got her
Why
answer.
you took someone's house?
It's a voucher from.
I feel happy that I'm back in my own home, although it's an absolute dump because I've had all these people and dogs running around, security dogs running around, which is not nice. But
I've just been speaking to the police officer who turned up. She appeared to be the lead police officer. She was just a constable. She weren't a sergeant. And she admitted this is a civil matter.
it is a civil matter.
And in that case, why did the police get involved when they're not allowed to get involved with civil matters, in your view?
But what they do is they stand back, so we're not doing anything because it's a civil matter, and then all the criminal matters happen. And then when you call the police, like I did, even though the other ones had left, they don't turn up to take a crime report. And I was left out the front waiting for them to turn up, dangling the carrot of we're coming, we're coming. They was never coming. So I've actually done a crime report anyway online. And I'd already put a fraud report in the week before they turned up, and 2 stays of execution, one into the King's Bench and one into the Chancery Division. Both should have been heard on the Friday before as an urgent work. Both sitting there waiting for approval because they're all working together, in my opinion.
Do you expect the police to turn up today?
I don't know if they will, but the fact is what they didn't do last time, they didn't stop a breach of the peace. Breach of the peace, here's the Oxford University Press, that must be quite good, occurs when harm is done or likely to be done to a person in his, her presence, property, or when a person in fear of being harmed through assault, affray, other disturbance, all common law. Anyone may lawfully arrest a person for breach of the peace committed in his or her presence when they reasonably believe that that person is about to commit or renew such a breach. The police are actually egging on. There was a gingered-haired copper.
I've seen that video. It's quite
Yeah.
disgusting of that police officer, in my view.
You know, and you've got some bits of law here about bailiffs and police, and in such instances, the police should have arrested the bailiffs, and they didn't. So due process has not been followed, which then brings in liberty of the subject 1354, that no man or woman in what state or condition that he be, or she be, should be put out of land or tenement, nor taken or imprisoned, nor disinherited, nor put to death without being brought by answer by due process. So that's ancient law, but it's still live. And then you've got trespass. If people say it's trespass today, we're trespass under the CPS, the Crown Prosecution Service, as updated here 18th of October 2019. Trespass is not of itself a criminal offence. The CPS must not act in a way which is incompatible with the Convention right. Section 6 of Human Rights, the Convention rights protected as laid out in Schedule 1. They may also include the right to private and family life. Well, when Sheena was ripped out the property with her husband, that went, which is article, you then bring in Articles 8, right to a peaceful life, which the police didn't uphold. They let thugs go ahead, they aided and assisted the thugs. You've got Article 10 and 11, which is relevant to today.
You've just shown me some paperwork there, and you've experienced these police at first hand. What can you tell the people watching this?
So at the moment, our country is being run by people who are not upholding the rule of law. So, and police are not being taught what to do. When it's not surprising when you've got people like Chief Constable Andy Marsh, who covered up the banking frauds down at Bristol. He was offered evidence and then didn't take it and later said we didn't have enough evidence. We've got people like that are running the policing college.
Can you hold that a sec?
No, this is what the police failed. The office and the constable, they're all individually responsible. This is what I've given you, a copy of where the police failed. The police acted in. You've got a mixture of misfeasance, malfeasance, non-feasance.
This is the words I kept hearing you say the other day.
This is what bailiffs can and can't do.
So this is what people do. They come together, they help out the communities, and I think this is going to happen a lot up and down the country. It's just a matter of time, I do believe.
Bailiffs are not allowed to push past individual to gain or entry or jam.
Oh, so you did exactly the same thing you're coming, you pushed me.
Well, the fact is, you were unlawfully in there.
You still assaulted me when they pulled me out.
No, because what legal grounds, what lawful grounds were you in there? What was
my job? Doing my job. I've been employed by the
what was your?
Who took the house to look after?
So they took the house. Bailiffs, well, it goes beyond that because you've got law, you've got legalese and you've got law. But I'm not having a go at you, but we're just trying to educate you a little bit, and we're doing it on common law.
Would you say the police acted lawfully in the original house eviction?
No, the police acted unlawfully. What you've got here, this is from the House of Commons, UK Parliament, Commons Library, you can find it. This was published Friday 9th of June 2023, and it's an overview of what bailiffs can and can't do. They should identify themselves, but they are not allowed to force entry. So county court bailiffs and high court enforcement officers are legally allowed to force entry to trade or business premises, but not residential homes, to chase unpaid county court judgments or high court judgments.
That's nothing to do with that. It's to do with.
Well, that's UK law, and this is Parliament. So this is partly what I do, and that's from Parliament today, and that was updated on the 9th of June 2023. What you've also got.
So I'm just going to leave this person to be educated, as they say. We don't know all the laws at the end of the day. I mean, we're all learning. Let's hope that this lady can take away a little bit of today for her own benefit and do some research. So anybody watching this, these people are not meant any harm. It's just a case of the circumstances are that they've been employed to look after this property as security, and they've been thrown to the wolves, basically.
In this world we're living in, you know, a lot of justice that's going on at the moment isn't really justice, is it? It's criminal.
Non-violent direct action. Do you know what that term is?
Yes, it's just everyone comes together peacefully and, you know, they stand together as one. And I think, you know, this is what it should be about. All colours, creeds, religions coming together and standing up for the truth.
It is. Snow white. Snow white.
Snow White, isn't it?
White.
What's your dog called? What's your dog? Snow. Did you name it? Did you name the dog?
White. Good girl. White.
Can I just ask you, why are you here today? Huh? Why are you here today?
I'm here to support you.
To support me?
I hope so.
Just keep quiet.
Are you working today? Are you at work?
I'm just wondering here.
Are you working here, did you say?
Why they filmed it?
Everyone's being filmed. Not just you. It's not just you, it's everyone.
It's nothing personal, it's just about the events of the day.
Security here. You're security here. Do you know about what happened to that woman?
No.
You don't know that she's...
I just came here last night.
You know, she's got cancer. She's about to die. In her 60s. Huh?
So I'm just going to leave them to just explain to this gentleman what's happening and why it's happening. So the security have got a dog on scene. It's my understanding that they've never used the dogs as part of the security. They're just a deterrent. And I think when he's been educated about the situation, he might feel a bit bad for working here today. Can you just tell me what happened when everybody turned up? Just get your side of the story.
I wasn't here when everybody turned up.
Oh, right, okay. What was you advised before you turned up? What was you told?
Go away, please.
I'm just getting your side of the story.
I haven't got a side to the story. I wasn't here.
Are you the boss of this lady?
No.
All right, do you work with her?
I'm a colleague, yes.
A colleague, all right, okay. Is she all right, do you know of?
I haven't had the chance to speak to her yet.
Perhaps
I know that she's been physically manhandled.
Has she? Have you got proof of that?
So why was you in the property unlawfully? You was in the property unlawfully. The police allowed unlawful entry. The police allowed unlawful entry. Do you want me to give you the law on that? Can we take your name? Where's your badge? Where's your badge? Do you realise that a vulnerable lady was in there? Stage 4 cancer.
Yes, I know. You manhandled her out just now.
No, we didn't.
So the man's making allegations. Obviously, I do believe there might have been video footage of the incident in order to protect people. We'll leave it as it is for now. Let's just see if the police turn up.
In the Magna Carta, it says officers should understand the law. How could you drive on the road if you didn't know the highway code? And it's the same with police. You can't have police doing their job when they can't do their job.
If they don't know the law, they don't know what they're doing.
The law, they can't do it.
Hence why the police tend to get it wrong a lot.
Yeah, I'm in Parliament on Tuesday over a lot of these frauds, and you know, these criminals, a lot of them include senior Conservatives. It goes back before the Conservatives got into some of the senior Labour. But they couldn't do it unless the police were willfully blind or did misconduct.
You know, a lot of us are wising up to the information we're being shared, and we're all sort of looking into things now, and we're all understanding, you know, the massive fraud that's been going on.
The police have just arrived now, so let's just say, they've ended up 4 abreast. One's a little bit in the lead, as they say.
Have you not brought backup?
No, tell me what it is, mate. What is it?
Okay. You need to give this to Tim Smith.
You can't litter. You can't litter. That's going to blow away. You're a terrible example of a police officer, that. He's just littered on your car. I'd just go and have a word with him. No, he's not giving you a ticket. He's just throwing paper away.
I don't know what we talk about.
Right, okay. Well, take that.
No, explain to me. I don't need to read it. Explain to me. Just explain to me. Explain to me what's going on.
So we are here to recapture a property. Because the police unlawfully acted the other day.
Where's your numbers?
Wait, Toby, we need warrant cards first.
Not all police are
We have your own.
So we got blue light response now.
We have your oath of office.
One white car.
Thank you for turning up to assist us. I take it you're coming to assist us.
Hello. What's the emergency? What's the emergency?
We need to serve you that.
What's the emergency?
That's about misconduct.
Hello there. What's the emergency?
Come to find out, mate.
All right. So you don't know that, why did you have blue lights on then?
New locks on the doors.
Rules that you operate under.
Who's the constable in charge, please?
Who parked that car? That is one shit piece of parking.
Excuse me, who's the officer in charge?
Excuse me.
Officer in charge.
Criminal Justice and Courts Act.
No risk assessment. There's about
down the road.
And Courts Act 2015.
Excuse me, who's? Excuse me, who's the officer in charge?
So this is 14521, who's just arrived in blue lights.
Who's in charge? Who's in charge? Well, can you get a senior officer in, please? We need an inspector. We need an inspector here.
This officer here will not identify himself.
I don't identify myself.
Who's in charge?
Your warrant card.
Who are you, sir? Who are you?
Show me your right. No, I want to see the proper warrant. The Criminal Justice
sorry?
Courts Act. Well, that was very quick.
Who are you?
And convenient.
Who are you? Who are you?
Okay, well, who's...
Just your number will fine. Just your number for reference. What's your number?
Go away.
What's your number? Just your number for reference.
Go away.
Sir, I'll tell you something. No, you litter.
Go away.
Pick your litter up. I got it on camera. That litter you put down. Go and pick your litter up. Pick your litter up, you naughty man. He won't even identify himself. This man has just littered on the floor. He's just littered on the floor and I've got it on camera. Are you concerned about that?
No, not really.
Not right now. So what is your number? I just want your number.
Listed.
Sorry? I can show you where you've littered. That piece of paper over there. She picked it up for you. There you go. What's your number, please? Just quickly for reference.
14893.
Thank you. Do you think the police actually need to change the way they police?
Oh, definitely.
How do you think that can happen?
Well, I think the world's changing, isn't it? You know, and they've got to see. They've got families that they go home to and friends and that they know. Everybody out there is actually, you know, seeing a difference now. And even some police officers, you know, you probably hear that they're talking about it now, what's going on. And it's a good thing because your seeds are being planted. And that's what we all need to do, plant the seeds so people understand.
I have heard actually that police officers do chat amongst themselves in the station and some have disagreements with each other.
Well, this is good because this is what you need to have happening now. And then by that happening, you know, then there become a divide. And then they realise, you know, the injustice that's taking place. Just because you've got a badge doesn't mean you're above the law.
Just very briefly, the police have turned up now. Do you think you'll be getting your job back today?
How do you know? They don't know what we're doing. Is that why?
Just while we're waiting, just take your number, please.
It's just a 157.
15737. Do you have a name?
Megan.
Megan, thanks, Megan. And which station are you at?
Maidstone.
Thank you. Can I just ask you to just move your car a little bit? It's a little bit like in the middle of the road.
Not where there's this many people. I'm fine here.
Okay.
It's not blocking the traffic or anything. It's still moving. But
That's fair enough. Thank you.
Hey? They've been peeing up the alley. Oh, wow. Really?
All the neighbours should be out for this. Come in and join in.
Link to this. So what's on what's the CAD number linked to? So you're here because someone's contacted you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what was the call for? Was it call from the neighbours? Was it call from the bailiffs? By what? By a mental?
Yeah.
We've exercised our common law right of recapture.
Yeah.
And we've lawfully.
Yeah, but what are the circumstances around that? Are you recapturing why?
Her house was illegally stolen from her last week.
This is
By bailiffs with fraudulent instruments.
Is
She's
Sheena?
she's terminally ill. She's got stage 4 cancer. She shouldn't have been removed. The police should have stepped in and said, "Look, guys, this needs to go back to court." But you didn't. Guys of your same ranking the same
didn't know
authority.
about it,
No,
so
you
you
didn't know
can't
about
go ask
it.
anyone, like
But
everyone
what I'm
seems
saying,
to be.
well, this is why there needs to be there needed to be a senior officer out down here last time, or constable,
Did someone
inspector.
inform this?
Several times, I did personally, and from inside I asked for them. They completely ignored it. The police constable's on the ground.
I think let's just have a quick look what's going on over here.
The police have not done their job. The police have acted unlawfully.
Okay, so what is your purpose here today? To get the lady back into the house?
To get the lady into the back
you've
of the
achieved,
house, which
is
is what
it?
we've achieved.
Fine, good. All right, I'll update that then. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can you tell me how can you do your job if you don't know the law? How can you do your job if you don't know the law?
Find out the
Does this say you have to give trust to people?
Right, so what the police officer is doing now, she's updating Central Command, or whatever they are, of the situation.
Hello.
It's all about the future.
Yes, yeah.
You don't want the tyranny, we're exposing it. So as you can see over there's quite an interesting debate going on. I'm just wondering what this lady's going to do now. So it looks like she needs to speak to a sergeant now, because these are all PCs. So I think she's looking for some advice. How many security officers were there here today? Were there 3 or 4?
It's just like I'm talking to CNN. I don't like CNN.
I don't like CNN. Do you know the BBC? I don't like them either. Do you know what I call them? The British Bullshit Corporation. Would you agree?
Just on your cam, then you can say that.
What's your accent? It's lovely, by the way.
My accent is not good.
It's lovely. What is it? Lithuanian?
It is lovely.
Czechoslovakia?
Yeah.
Peru?
Kashmir.
Kashmir?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that. Anyway, you have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
So it looks like the police are going to update.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's all right.
So I'm just going to leave this police officer. I think there's allegations being made. So there's allegation of physical contact. Hello there. Now that it's all calmed down a bit, you're lucky that security, your colleague there littered on that car, and I tried to tell him off, but he wouldn't have it.
Well, I don't know about that. Okay.
He'll tell you all about it, car. Do you know what? I think in the heat of the moment he didn't realise. Would it be fair to say he didn't realise?
No, I wasn't littering. I was putting a piece of paper that someone handed me on the bonnet of the car.
That's littering.
Not mine.
Right.
Well, you didn't pick it up.
Please, buddy. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, it's nice to meet you. But you didn't pick it up, did you? It's littering.
Give them the details. I can more make money on that in the open market. That's why they dig in so much in more details.
Just to advise you, you're better off sitting in the police car for details, because it's public here.
Oh, thank you. Thanks very much.
Well, just take her to the police car.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
I don't think you do, you know.
Well, I do. I appreciate your tone. I understand totally what you're saying.
My tone?
You're good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm actually think you're good.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
I think you've been trying to be helpful.
some would disagree, but I'll leave you to that. Thank you anyway. Thank you. Can I just say, she's now making allegations about somebody assaulting her to the police.
Yeah, complete rubbish, complete rubbish. The only assault was, I think they took her bag of Maltesers away. They asked her to leave the property, and the gate was locked. Somehow she had to climb over the gate. I would try and do that. A man of my size, I wouldn't try and get over that gate. I believe she had to climb over the gate. I'm not sure how it all happened. I weren't here for that part. But she's out. The owner of the house is back in her house. So today, that's a victory. And we'll wait and see what the allegations are and who the allegations are against. I think it was against the guy wearing black. Certainly wasn't against the guy wearing pink.
Pink's your colour, is it?
Oh yeah, pink's my colour.
So the only way in and out at the moment is via climbing the fence. But I'm sure that will be resolved shortly when they find the key to the gate.
We need.
You want a hand?
Yeah, the knee's gone.
Oh, heck. Maybe you should stay there now.
We came on blue, I think.
We came on blue lights because we get limited information, okay? So I turned it off my colleague. I was well. My colleague had arrived already. All we knew is the large-scale disturbance with lots of people. That's all we knew. We've turned up. There's lots of people. We've come on blue lights to assist our colleagues because we don't know what's going to happen. But sometimes we go to calls like this and it all goes very badly wrong.
Hello, you two.
Oh, you're right.
Just for reference, what's your number? 61753.
That's it.
How do you pronounce that? Am or im?
That's correct.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
And what's your number?
60346. Pizza Soda Rose.
Oh, right. Are you police officers or community?
We're police community support officers.
Do you want to be a police officer?
Thank you.
You'd have to grow a little bit, wouldn't you?
Nah.
Like me. What about you? You're too tall to be a police officer.
What makes you say that?
Well, you're taller than me. Well, I'm a bit of a midget, really, to be honest. Anyway, it's nice to meet you. And for the camera, hello. And for my camera, take care. Have a nice time. Oh, what nice people. Well, thank you for that interaction. It was nice. So the police are looking at paperwork. That's a good sign. Whether they take any notice of it, that's another story. Do you want to say anything while you're here today?
We're here today. We had a little meet up in the park and we decided to come back and repossess this lady's house. The government took it fraudulently last week. They evicted her. She's got stage 4 cancer. But that doesn't matter. They don't care about that. They're going to go in, they're going to take the house anyway, over a council tax bill that's over 10 years old. So they went in, they took the house. They got security guys, I'm not shitting you. They got these guys, they're living in her house, they're getting paid however much an hour. When we got in there, the security girl, she sat there with her feet up, watching the telly, eating a packet of Smarties, or Maltesers or something, and they're getting paid to do that. That's their job. Whilst this lady's got to find accommodation in a hotel or something. Anyway, she's back in her house now. We managed to gain access. The security have called the police. The police are here now, and the security are complaining that they've been evicted, that they've been assaulted and evicted. So we got a feel for the poor security. But today it's a job well done. It's a victory for the people.
Do you think some of these police officers may be acting criminally?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you know, at the end of the day, like you say, there's some good officers out there, but there's others that are not. You know, and any time you get an interaction, ask for a supervisor or a sergeant to be attending, because, you know, don't say no more.
What's the morale like in yours for us?
What's the morale like? Oh, it's like up and down, isn't it? Depending on what
Up and down.
Dealing with.
Depends what's going on, what the situation is, what the climate is. It's it changes. Yeah.
Like with any job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except ours is a bit more extreme sometimes. So
the plan was always to take this lady's house back. We did that. No violence. No arrests, absolutely peaceful, and she's back in her home. Now, I don't know how long that's going to last. Hopefully it will last forever, but today we'll take the victory.
Some of the police officers who turned up 2 weeks ago, there's one with ginger hair, I don't know his name, you might know him. His attitude was all wrong, I thought, in the police. Don't comment. Obviously, internally, you'll all know about that. You'll have probably seen the video even. Would that be fair to say?
I've seen a video. I'm guessing that's the one you're referring to.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are a bit unhappy with the way police act when they act like that. So, in your professional opinion, is that the right way to act?
I haven't seen the video, genuinely.
I've seen the video, but I'm not going to comment on my colleague's behaviour. Okay, it's not suitable for me to do that in this context. All right.
Can I ask you then? Is he under investigation?
I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know.
Non-violent direct action. We've been doing it for a while. We've had drag queens removed. We've had the ULEZ cameras removed. This is people power. This is people power, and this is what I've been bitching about for the last 4 years. We got to do it ourselves. Ain't no one coming to do it for us. We got to do it ourselves. We've got to stand up. We've got to be counted. We've got to get out there on the street. We've got to get up off our sofas. It's all right watching social media, but we've got to get out there and do it. We've got to get out there and do it ourselves. We're the ones who count.
And what a great turnout.
Oh, amazing. Look at this number of people. Not everyone knew what they were getting involved in because, like I say, we couldn't say on social media what it was, but a massive turnout today. There's nothing the police can do. There's not enough police in Kent for the amount of people we got here. So I think the police are just going to drive off in a minute because there's nothing really they can do. We're taking the ass back.
And it is actually a civil matter.
Absolutely.
That's what it should be.
There's no need for the police to be here, but they helped the security evict this lady last week. The police were assisting the crime. And that's how crazy it is in this country now.
Let's live in a world of peace and happiness and show the love. And let's see justice, come together.
I've seen the video of last week, and what we learned in that video, right, is that the police are going to come and do what they're going to do, right? Now, we're all here. There's 50, 60, 70 of us here today. We're going to be going home. You know these scum cunts are going to come back. At some point, they're not going to let us have this victory for very long. They'll be back. The question is, can we get people here? Can we get people here in time? A lot of people have come a long way. Can we get people here in time before these idiots come back and kick this poor lady out again?
Well, not only has she got stage 4 cancer, she's a vulnerable lady, and it should never have happened in the first place.
Should never have happened. Should never have been allowed to happen. The courts have got to be made aware of this. Mainstream media need to be made aware of this. People in this country need to know what our government are doing. This lady is over a council tax bill. She owns her house outright, right? The house is valued at £380,000, right? These jokers that repossessed it have put it on the market
for a guide selling price starting at £160,000, which is half the price of what it's worth. But we all know houses of value never sell for the price of what they're worth. Surely it's time to now
wake the fuck up.
I don't know what more to say to you apart from you're under arrest.
Okay.
All right, nice.
All right. All right, mate. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
You all right?
Thanks, yeah, cheers.
Okay.
You still? Oh, right, it's still good.
Okay.
I'm speechless.
Oh, yeah. Oh, why?
Are you speechless?
No.
Well, keep on talking then.
It'd be hard to get me speechless.
I've already got what to say. Okay.
Yeah,
You're not asking us any more questions.
If you've got more questions, then fair enough.
No, I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
I've got no more questions for you.
Okay.
Are you good otherwise?
Oh, I've got no more questions for you.
Okay.
All right. Well, I have one for you. How long have you been here for?
No comment.
Okay. All right.
How did it all start this? What was it over?
This was to do with council tax. My partner had the bill in his name. If you look up the national debt line, you'll see that only a person whose name the bill is in has to pay it. Well, it was in his name. He'd paid it. And what happened was we met some people when I was leafleting at some stage, because I used to be a Maidstone Borough Councillor. Might as well put that out there, but I was nothing like any of them. So we was told that the people, the staff of the council was blocking the court doors in the magistrates' court. And me being me, he was like, hold up, what's going on here? So he didn't pay it, but what they did very cleverly, they flipped it and put it into my name. It wasn't in joint names, so they had no right. Under the General Data Protection Act, GDPR, they must tell you where they've obtained your data. Your data is your gold, not theirs. And Maidstone Borough Council won't answer, and the MP won't make them answer. So that's what happened there. It was a council tax. We went to the magistrates' court. Guess what? They was all blocking the magistrates' doors. So when it was my turn, I said to her, who are you? And she flipped her, because she asked me who I was. I said, more importantly, who are you? She flipped her badge, and I got the name Tracy. And I said, what's going on here? She said, oh, this is a pre-paper hearing. I said, there's no such thing. And of course, we know that they can't give liability orders. We know that the courts won't prove that they've even had anything heard. And all they ever give out is a notice. Well, I could give you notice. It means diddly squat. Where's the orders? So no order was ever made. And then when it comes to the bankruptcy, this was the clever bit. We never knew. They flipped it after it was paid below the bankruptcy level. In those days, it was £750. And what they did was, even though it was paid, they moved it to the different year. They can't do that because we sent them a letter. But we didn't find out for a couple of years later in a witness statement that what they actually had done. But by the time you get to this stage, you go through the courts, the appeal courts, they lead you up the garden path. All of them do. They're all working together. And that's your lot. It's basically too bad, you didn't suss it quick enough, or whatever. And you cannot be made bankrupt in a county court hearing centre. There's one county court since the 22nd of April 2014. The rest are just satellite offices. So Maidstone Borough Council apparently filed a petition. We've never got any evidence from the court that they've done that. Filed it and said, too bad, we've moved the money, basically, which they can't do, into a holding account. But what I never knew was the girl that originally got the payment and the letter put it into the correct year. So this other one come along and said, no, you can't do that. We want it put into the wrong year so we can get bankrupt. That's what they do. These people...
So they fabricated everything against you?
Yes.
To justify their actions?
Yeah, plus they want a building development on the back. We used to have a beautiful big eucalyptus tree. It leant like the Leaning Tower of Pizza. One night, It just fell down, no wind, all on its own, not the shed 8 foot up in the air. Of course, it had a protection order on it. Nothing was ever said. I stopped them putting 18 townhouses down there. They've got bungalows, and that is valuable building land because it backs onto that development. And I had a letter from somebody when they first did it saying, oh, would you like to sell? It took them 2 years to build them. So this would be prime for somebody to pick up as a bargain. Building permission on the side for 5 beds, sell the bottom of the garden or build a nice £500,000 bungalow. You're in profit, aren't you?
Can I ask you a serious question now? Is littering an arrestable offence?
Mate, I wasn't trying to litter. Someone handed me some paper and I put it in the car.
I'm going to milk you today.
Taking this seriously, are you?
I just want to say to the people watching this, you do seem like a nice man. Out of that uniform, you probably have a different opinion about things, but you don't need to comment. I know.
All right, cheers. That's very kind of you.
Hello there. Do you work at the security of this house? Are you all ringing for a taxi? I think they're ringing for a taxi to go home. So, as the police stand by, waiting for further action, orders, should we say, the people are just having a general chat with the police officers and trying to explain the situation as it really is. Do you trust the police?
No.
Do you trust
the courts? No. The judges? No. The councils? No. The lot? No.
Do you have any trust in anybody?
The people that turned up.
I think the people have the power as well, to be honest, but
They
a lot of
should.
people exercise that power, do they?
No, because it's took me a long time to learn what they've done and that they can doctor these orders that are not coming out of the court. And they are being doctored on the EC filing system. Most people don't know what that is. An EC filing system is an automated system. Now that should come down with a complete black seal on it, but the clerks can go in and alter it and remove stuff. Because I've seen it on my
That's
own
fraud.
documents. Well, I would call it fraud.
Yes.
That's why I put a fraud report to Kent Police. Because if this was a legit, it would have the judge's name for starters. It wouldn't say that it was issued from the central office. Now, what you don't realise is the central office is the Queen's Bench, Central Office Action Department. And then suddenly be sealed on the 8th by the Business and Property Courts. This is what you need to see. This is a freedom of information which is shown to the police, and it states quite clearly down the bottom that nothing was issued on the 5th of January from the King's Bench.
It's like the King's Bench, they're all complicit.
The King's Bench, it says the number of writ 68s issued by the King's Bench on the 5th of January, which was when Alex Chalk, I think, the Lord Chancellor, come on, how can he be a witness from a different date? He cannot. So if it come from the King's Bench, it should be sealed by the King's Bench. So what's happened is the number of writ 68s, the King's Bench have issued none, basically, nil on the 5th of January. So they was also asked about the Business and Property Court. There you go. The Business and Property Court, top line. Says,
Neither issued or sealed.
there you go.
Any writs.
Oh dear, what, the 8th of January? Isn't that funny?
What date was that? Letter?
This letter was done on the 9th of Feb. Quick off the mark for the EC filing.
Well, just for information now, I think that's quite damning evidence you're holding up there.
The police ignored it.
And the way they've dealt with it all matters. And the police, do you think they'll come back?
I've no idea if they come back. If they're working for the trustees or the councils, because the councils pay them, don't they? They collect their revenue through council
What are the
tax.
police doing about your fraud claim?
I've no idea. They've not actually. It's gone in. It's been submitted, and a complaint went in again today, but they haven't come back to me on it. I did laugh though. I think it's the IPCC or somebody, police, came back and said something about the police could do civil this, that, and the other on a warrant. I went, excuse me, what warrant? What does it say at the top of there? Writ 68 is not a warrant. So there's your damning evidence. Nothing was done on the 8th of January. There's your seal for Business and Property Courts. Nothing was done on the 5th of January for the King's Bench.
Yep.
So I haven't made that up. All they had to do, the police, was ring those two places up. You'd ring up the ICC issues department, which is the Insolvency and Companies Court. That would tell you if that was right. And you'd ring up the King's Bench Enforcement and Issues team to see if they did it. I mean, they both can't do it.
Is there anything on those pieces of paper you want me to blur out? Or is it okay to show everything?
Show it.
Just want to say thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Gary.
Are you good?
Sorry, can we just yeah? So what's happened? What's happened with the CAD number?
What's happened with the CAD number?
Yeah, well, obviously you got CAD number to a 10.
Do you want it?
But no, we've got the CAD number.
Yeah.
So it's I understand what the allegation was.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've provided the evidence and proof about the crime that's been committed and the proof that she is the homeowner.
Right.
So as far as the
Toby,
CAD...
it's a civil matter, isn't it?
It is indeed. Yeah, that's all. All it is. But now because she's taken the common law right of a capture, she's terminally ill, so she shouldn't have
Get to
removed
your
her.
point, Toby. What is it you want?
Right. So I need to make sure that no constable are going to turn up here 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and try to. When it goes to shift change.
Well, that will be dictated by if anything else happens, won't it?
But yeah, but I went for this person in 2018.
Right.
When I took my house back.
Yeah.
And it was all stood down. The sergeant said, "We're going now. It's a civil matter. It's all been dealt with in court."
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning, because they saw lights on, they've got all the police, 6 police coming around, banging on the windows and doors. They're saying about burglary. Yeah, it is an excuse.
Okay.
So I just want the assurance from you that no one's going to come back
I can't give you
here.
that insurance, can
Because
I?
that's
Because
gonna
I
be
won't be on
harassment.
duty.
No.
And I won't know if somebody else has called in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't give you that insurance. I can't see into the future like you can't.
Toby, can you just explain what you're saying for the record? I don't understand what.
Well,
can
because
happen.
there's an allegation that Sheena's been living, now she's in the house illegally, unlawfully. One of the guys turned around and said that it's property of the bank. But it's not property of the bank, it's a civil dispute between her and the council tax because she owns the house outright. But what the police could do, because they've been called out here now because she's allegedly unlawfully inside the house, that the police, when it goes to shift change, some 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, they could say, oh, someone's reported a burglary, and then the police turn up on the doorstep and start harassing to make sure to see whether there's a burglary or not and go through a similar thing, which is going to put her under undue
so
stress.
how come you not write a note to say that?
How do we know that a burglary isn't taking place?
Right.
So what will go on is the merits of any calls that come in at the time, like we would
Right,
on any other
okay.
occasion.
What
so I can't answer what might happen because I really don't know.
Right, okay, so can we put a note or a record on the file that if there is an allegation or a
we
call
will
for...
have obviously a report of what we've been here today.
Yeah,
and
of
this
course.
Day and
What I'm
time,
saying
won't
is,
we?
if we was to give you the homeowner's telephone number,
Right.
so if there was a report, you can check with the homeowner whether that is a bona fide report.
We could
or
phone,
not.
I mean, certainly we could phone her, of course, but what we need to be sure is that she's not somewhere else. Do you know what I mean?
She's back in
She
there. She
I
can't
know
start
she is.
moving.
Yeah, the lady
in a
lady
wheelchair.
said that she was. So, yeah, I'm happy to take her telephone number if you want it.
Right, okay, let me just go. Obviously,
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't...
happy to do that.
Yeah, let me go and find out, because obviously...
But you'll appreciate, Toby,
GDPR.
that if there's a call that comes in,
Yeah.
they'll have to judge it on its merits at the time. Okay?
Is it?
But as long as the police aren't going to go forcing entry into the property...
Well, you're asking me something that I can't
Yeah,
answer.
I know, yeah.
You know,
Is it-
It's in the future.
Yeah.
If you want to get her telephone number, of course I will
Obviously, data
register
protection,
it.
I just can't give that to you. I'm going to have to get it confirmed that it's okay.
Go and see
yeah.
if you can find out.
Is
That'd
it,
be
is
great.
it possible to see if Tim Smith would have a meeting with us as well?
You'll have to contact his secretary.
Because you guys have been good today. I know me and you got off to a bit of a rocky start, but what I'm saying is, he's grinning. What I'm saying is,
You'd have to contact his office for that. I can't answer that.
because we had a situation in September, and
The answer's still the same. What's your name, sorry?
Trevor Meader.
Trevor, if you don't mind me calling you Trevor.
That's fine.
You'll have to contact his office, Mr. Smith's office. He'll decide whether he wants
all
a
I'm
meeting
saying,
with you or
even
not.
your
It's not up
crime
to us.
commissioners are upholding the law.
Mr. Scott's
Scott
office.
is-
If you want a meeting with
Last
him,
time I went
you
to
have
the
to
crime
contact
panel,
Mr.
Matthew
Scott's
Scott
office.
went running out. What I'm saying is, when it ends like this, it's good. We shouldn't have to come out to uphold common law.
Okay.
But the coppers that you had here the other day, especially the ginger-haired one,
Don't
he
know who that
acted
is, sorry.
unlawfully.
I don't know who
That
that
carries-
is.
that
If you've
carries
got an issue with any action taken by police, then you're right, take it up with the Chief Constable, Mr. Smith. Contact his office if you want a meeting.
The trouble is,
What was that? Mr. Scott's office.
what is going on?
Oh, right, markets.
What is going on in the UK goes up to very senior ministers.
Well, that's your opinion, all right? You've asked me. Okay, there's
Let us see if-
whatever you feel that you have. The answer's still the same.
What
Contact
I'm
Mr.
saying
Smith's
is,
office.
I mean, you-
I'm going to stop this conversation now because it's not going anywhere. All right, so we're going to head off, and you
So
are going to do what.
yeah?
you're
Right,
gonna
what
do
I'm going to
you're
say is
gonna do.
thank you to you guys and you. I wish you would listen a little bit, because I think if you listen to public a bit more,
Okay.
it
Right.
would do everyone a favour.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you very much.
And I'm going to go back to Sheffield now. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
You
lad.
come down
And-
from
Very nice.
Yeah, and just before I go, you did say, yeah, well, thank you very much. You did say it was a civil matter, didn't you? Do you believe it
I
was?
believe it. I believe it's a civil matter. Yes, I do
This
believe
is
that.
a civil matter.
Thank
I
you very
do
much.
believe it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Can I just take your name and number?
My force number is 12692.
Even on the CPS website, which I've got here, they treat this sort of thing as civil.
And sorry, what's your name?
Thank you very much.
I don't need to give my name.
Oh, do you
My
not?
unique identifier.
You didn't litter, did you?
No, no, I didn't.
You don't,
Okay.
I don't have to, no. You don't have to.
So I'm going to leave them now because they've obviously dealt with the matter today. It's a civil matter. The police officers confirmed it, and anybody who doubted this in the past, you've heard it from the police now. What happened today is a civil matter. There might be a criminal allegation be made. However, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But if the one does come to light, what can you say? Tough situation to deal with.
This is a copy of the crime report.
I just want a telephone number.
Yeah, the telephone number's on there. So if you can take a copy of the crime report. This is a crime report of the crime that happened the other day. There's all the details there. Who's
the lady? Oh, this lady here,
Yeah,
is it?
this has all been reported. So this is what
Sheena.
Sheena.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what needs to be investigated. So can you
So
make?
it's been reported online?
That's been reported online. Yeah.
Okay.
So can
So
we?
why do I need a copy of this?
Well, because you can take it back and put it on the case file and state because we need a
Well,
crime
it'll
report.
already be on the computer.
Yeah, but we need
Is this
a.
what she submitted?
Yeah.
So that'll be the report, yeah.
That's the report, but we've got an incident number, but what we need is a crime report number. Because the incident is obviously logged on the computer system, but then it gets passed up and escalated.
It'll get allocated to an officer in charge.
Yeah,
and they'll contact.
But
Is it Sheila?
Sheena. But in light of what's happened,
So this, because it says she, is that mean Sheena?
yeah, she started right. She made it.
And that's
That's
her
the
number.
telephone number.
So-
Yeah, but in light of what's happened
So when I
today,
find the crime report number, I'll text it to her, shall I?
yes, please, yeah. Yeah, because that is the crime that needs reporting before this has happened today. If it hadn't been for this crime being committed, you wouldn't be here today.
Is that our only copy?
No, that's a copy online.
Yeah, no, we'll have that anyway. I was just going to say, unless you.
Thank you for being good people.
Yeah,
thank
you.
Bye-bye.
Well done, guys. We're off. You guys, look at the people. Wonderful.
What can you say to people who find themselves facing eviction in the future?
Well, try and work out if the paperwork's correct. He didn't even make an application for that.
But your paperwork is correct.
My
And
paperwork
you
is
still got evicted.
Well, this paperwork isn't correct, and he didn't. To get this, if it had been legit, he would have had to have made an application.
Yeah, so it's not correct, but you still got evicted
Exactly, because
Yeah.
the police don't know their job.
because they're not legally trained.
Well, neither are we, but we can read.
Yeah.
And we know that, I took one look at that on the EC file, and because of all the information I've done on there and tried to submit things, I realised that not everything was showing as it should do. There is no case court files anymore. It's all EC file. Very important to know. Professionals, it's mandatory, not for us.
Well, I just want to say thank you very much for that, Sheena, and good luck with the future.
Thank you.
Can I ask you, you've paid your mortgage off completely,
Yeah.
haven't you? So you don't actually own anything on your mortgage?
No.
And what was the initial council tax amount
I
for?
think
If you would like to watch the full interview recorded by Laura, Nina and myself, there is a video link in the description below. Home evictions are on the rise, and the police still have a lot to learn.